I know you guys heard from my previous video how much appreciation I had for the amount of love that was sent to me. Now, time for us to talk about how I got here. I think that's important for you to understand how I got here so that you can get a little bit more about who I am. So, I want to talk more about the warning signs, how I live with this day to day, those type of things. Before I was diagnosed with kidney failure, I actually had no illness. I never got sick. I never had a cold. I was literally healthy. So when I actually found out about my diagnosis, it was really a shocker. I'm originally from Miami. So I always wanted to move out of Miami, and I have family in Atlanta. So what I decided to do is move to Atlanta. But prior to moving to Atlanta, my life in Miami was really great. I had a great job, family was there, you know, everything was just really great in Miami. Remember, I did not know that I had high blood pressure until my diagnosis. One thing that I did notice, which is actually a symptom of high blood pressure, is periodically I would see dots or faded dots in my vision. I didn't think anything of it, but come to find out that is pre-exposure to high blood pressure, and I ignored those signs. I did have some warning signs that I did ignore. But I'm glad I eventually did get the help that I needed by going and taking myself to the ER. Surprisingly enough, I had no high blood pressure or diabetes, which are the number 2 top reasons people go or have kidney failure. I was about 22, like 22 years old, no, 23 years old. And I was staying with a friend, and every time I use the bathroom, I sleep throughout the night. I don't have to get up to pee. And one day it started to where I was starting to wake up to pee in the middle of the night, which, it was a little concerned, but not that concerning to me. And the next week, I went and had a Coca-Cola drink, drank the soda, instantly I threw up. So, I was young. I thought to myself, okay, maybe I just don't like Coke. So I just did not drink Coca-Cola no more. The next week, I had a glass of water. When I drank the water, instantly I threw up. And that right there, I was like, nah, something is wrong. I need to go to the doctor. So I asked my friend who I was staying with to drive me to the hospital in the emergency room in Atlanta, Georgia. I was in there for about 12 hours sitting in an emergency room. It was a very slow period. But during this time, I wasn't feeling no pain. I wasn't feeling anything like that. I just threw up the water. So I knew something was wrong. So they called me back eventually after 12 hours. I talked to the doctor. They ran tests. And while I was sitting in the hallway, the nurse came by because I was sitting there for a long time and I wanted to know what was taking so long. And I asked her, what's going on? She said, the doctor saw protein in your urine. And I said, okay, what am I going to be able to take? Like some medicine, something like that, and just go? And she said, oh no, baby, you're going to be here for a while. That's what started my whole kidney failure experience. So I will say, before I started waking up to pee and throwing up the drinks, a year before that, I went to the restroom and I went to pee. Towards the end, there was a little bit of blood that came out. Now, this is the first time I ever had anything medically wrong with me, up until this time. So it definitely scared me and made me afraid. I didn't know, what it was. So instantly I'm thinking, is this a STD? So I went to the doctor and got tested for all STDs, and everything came back negative. The doctor told me just take some kind of medication, but he gave me some medication and I took it and I didn't see the blood anymore. So I figured, oh, I'm good. But the next year, there was definitely warning signs from the year before. So me